first time I've ever met you, so I need to ask you something. How
Nice to
did
meet
you find out that you had acting skills? Like, when did you realize that you could actually do this?
I guess not until I tried. And even in trying, there's been many times where people have said the opposite, that I don't have any acting skills.
They know nothing.
No. I think critics are a very important piece of success. Early on in my career, I did a lot of films that maybe I wasn't necessarily passionate about or doing it for the wrong reasons because it was good for a business model. And then I was fortunate enough to get like a second chance at the movie business. And I learned from my mistakes and I learned from that criticism. So I'm very grateful for it. And it's led me to be here. So, I mean, this is pretty amazing. So being brave enough to try it, being okay enough to admit that I failed, and listening to people who gave me criticism.
Are you Dr. Dolittle?
How do you build a character that, especially a villain, that can keep up with such a beloved character as Dolittle?
Well, it was really helpful with this to have a bit of backstory for the character. So once I was told that, well, the idea is that they were at university together, that they were sort of young men together, and so that really helped, because I could imagine Mutfly being very jealous of Dolittle. He can see that Dolittle has a natural kind of genius for having relationships with animals and relating to animals, and I think Mudfly would love to be more like Dolittle, but he knows he can't be. He's too scared, he's too buttoned down, he's too pinned down, and so I think that becomes the engine for his disdain for Dolittle and his desire to stop him.
After all, the problem with this character is that he is kind of jealous that he didn't get recognized from the beginning. And I'm guessing, is that something that happens quite often in an industry like this, in Hollywood, that sometimes people can be, mean because you are recognized and they are not?
Well, I mean, not just in this industry, I think just human beings, it's our insecurities that make us do, mean things and cruel things. I think ultimately it's because we can get very scared, and it's our fears and insecurities and our feelings that we're not good enough in some way, and second guessing what people think of us and wanting to, defend ourselves and that kind of stuff. It's all because we're just scared.
You're right. Yeah.
I think if we were all able to be a bit braver, we'd be nicer.
Of course. Just be happy for everyone else's success. That's the way to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We have no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
And also, all of the animals have something that kind of defines them, so what would be that one thing that defines John Cena? One thing maybe that you don't like that says a lot about you?
So stubbornness.
Okay.
But stubbornness is the part that is something that I maybe don't like. But stubbornness also is a vehicle for perseverance and the ability to never quit. So stubbornness is kind of meh. But then when you look at the flip side of what stubbornness provides, it provides me with just the ability to keep trying and never give up. So I think that's, although I hate being stubborn, I like being persistent.
When it comes to creating a voice for a character such as Kevin, what are the aspects you need to consider when you're creating the whole personality?
Well, we just kept revenge on the mind. It was all about Kevin and Stubbins. He didn't like Stubbins being around and everybody being friendly to him. So that kind of drove Kevin's character, just to there's always something about everybody's against me. It's me against the world.
Do you feel like anyone can do comedy, or is it something you're just born with?
Wow, that's an amazing question. Anyone has tried comedy, but it's something special about being born with it. With the correct writing, and so many things will have to go right for just anyone to do it. If you're a quiet person, you can't be out like, "What's up, everybody?" You gotta play to what strength, but it's such a delicate equation.
You can talk to animals.
If we could actually understand what animals say, what would be the hardest thing to explain of humankind?
Animals would have a lot of questions on why we do certain things.
True.
And I think those would be interesting questions. And a lot of times we think that everybody understands us, but when we actually explain what we're doing out loud, we realize sometimes how ridiculous it sounds. So when we'd have to explain ourselves to animals, maybe we could understand that some of the stuff we do is a bit too ridiculous.
I don't think it's about us explaining anything to animals. I think it would be about us learning from them ourselves, wouldn't it? I think we as human beings, maybe one of our greatest flaws is that we overestimate how smart we are and how much we understand, and that we've sort of somehow worked out what the world is about and what life is about. And I think animals, you know, it's always interesting when you see a cat or something reacting to something in the room and you think, what's it looking at? I can't see anything. You think, what can animals see? And what do animals understand about the world that we don't, that we just are blocked off from? That would be what we could learn from them, I guess.